What it means is if you get a confirmed bottom in on Bitcoin at 15,700, then on pullbacks, you start to buy more aggressively.
Gareth Soloway discusses various market movements we're seeing today, with a particular focus on Bitcoin. Soloway notes that Bitcoin has reached a major level of resistance and highlights that the recent rally has been rather light, which could suggest that big money is not buying in. He believes the next few days will be crucial for Bitcoin to see if it can get above the current level of 30,800 and hold. Soloway says that the possibility of Bitcoin dropping to $9,000 is still on the table, but cautions against chasing in a move like this, and recommends buying more aggressively when it pulls back. Soloway also notes that even though Bitcoin has taken out its highs, Ethereum continues to struggle and explains the reason behind it. Let's check out the latest interview with Gareth Soloway. If you enjoy the content we do here, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.
Let's take a look at Bitcoin and look at this, guys. If you were here last week, we talked about this channel, this consolidation range. Where did I say Bitcoin could go? I said it could go to 30,500. What was the high yesterday? 30,500 and change. What are we doing today? We're holding basically flat on Bitcoin. All right, you guys know, if you know, I shorted some Bitcoin via buying BITI yesterday, nibbled a little bit on that, so far up on that trade. We're going to watch to see. This, to me, is the groundbreaking level. All right, so what I mean by groundbreaking level, and this is a very important concept, groundbreaking level is, this is the Great Wall of China. This is the brick wall that has, that's 10 feet wide, whatever you want to call it. This level is a psychological major level. Keep in mind, the rally on Bitcoin has been on light volume lately. That's a concern. What that tells me is it's not big money buying. Not big money buying. You have to be aware of that. And that's something that, again, gets my attention as well. So again, we should know over the next few days, maybe over the next 5 to 7 days, do we get above this level? Do we hold? In that case, then the low is in. All right. Now, it doesn't mean I'm going to go bullish and buy Bitcoin. That's ridiculous. You would never buy and chase a move like this. What it means is if you get a confirmed bottom in on Bitcoin at 15,700, then on pullbacks, you start to buy more aggressively. At supports, you buy more aggressively. And that's the technique that, again, has made me the millions of dollars that I have made and I continue to make on a monthly, yearly basis in these markets, whether it's crypto, whether it's stocks, whether it's commodities. Bitcoin, again, pulling back off of the initial pop on it. Take a look at the intraday chart. And here was your high from yesterday right here. And there's your high from today. Doesn't mean we won't take out that high. But remember, this is into a major level of resistance. Some of you guys asking, is it still priced in that Bitcoin could still go down to the 12 to 13,000 target, maybe even 9,000? The answer is, as long as we don't confirm and hold above 30,000, this 30,500 level right in this vicinity, the answer is yes. So again, that is still on the table. If we were to confirm and stay above there, then you have a different scenario where likely the 15.7 level, 15.6 level is a low pivot on the charts. All right. Let's look at Ethereum. Ethereum, again, continues to struggle here. Same thing. Even though Bitcoin recently took out its highs, Ethereum has not. So it is a little bit under pressure. Remember, you do have that fork. I think it's called the Shanghai fork coming up, and that could be creating a little bit of stress on some of those players out there unwilling to commit ahead of that fork in case. And this, by the way, this happens a lot with forks, is that people are nervous that something could go wrong, and so they usually step back. So you're going to lose a few buyers going into that event, which could explain why Ethereum is struggling just a little bit. Let's go to the dollar first. The dollar, guys. So this is why the markets rallied, and now this is why the markets are giving it back. So number one, if we look at the intraday chart, look at this. All right, look at the drop in the dollar on the intraday 10-minute chart when that data came out. All right, why did it come? Why did the dollar drop? Well, the concept here is super simple. If inflation is dropping, then it means the Fed has to hike less. That means it potentially can even cut rates in the future. That's weak for the US dollar. Now, why is it rallying up? Now, notice that the markets rallied when the dollar dropped, and now the markets are pulling back a little bit when the dollar's rallying. So the dollar's getting a bounce. Number one, it was a big sell, so you generally get a technical bounce. Number two, just like I said, remember, if you look behind the curtains, there, the CPI data actually upticked if you strip out core stuff, which is food and energy. So there's still some little signs of kind of higher inflation in the system when you remove that food and energy from the calculation. All right, so again, how does this go? We're going to find out, but if the dollar continues to rally, markets should continue to come in, and we'll watch and see how that plays. All right, let me go to silver real quick, guys. Hang on one second. Yeah, silver, huge pop too. Actually traded just up into this range where it was overnight, actually pierced those levels. I actually want to short some silver here. And again, guys, I am shorting a little silver up here. All right, there we go. Just shorted a little SLV right there, so we'll see how that goes. And again, overall, if it goes back up, I'll add to the position I did. What the equivalent would be of about a 1/5 position for what I would look to accumulate. So again, in that on a little bit of the short side. Again, if we look at the daily silver chart, look at this insane move. Look at that move on silver. To me, this is a blow off top today. I want to short into it. You also have a lot of resistance coming into play here. Look at the silver chart here. If we put a trend line right here, look at how close we are to major resistance. You're coming right in there. You have more major resistance just above right here. Now, it doesn't mean I don't like silver on the longer term, right? I love silver on the longer term. I love gold longer term. But when we look at these commodities, they have gone parabolic. Gold a little bit, not as much in the recent days, of course, but silver's move is parabolic, and I want to pull the trigger. Now, why would silver pull back and maybe gold hold up better? The answer is very simple on this. All right, gold goes up when fear is there. Even in a recession, gold can go up. And by the way, Warren Buffett was just on CNBC, and he said one of his retailers, their year-over-year sales in the last month were down 22% from a year ago sales. So we know that the companies out there, we know from the warning that was basically the downgrade for Microsoft. We heard from Apple, analysts on Apple recently saying that that people aren't going to be upgrading their phone. It tells me that a recession is coming. To bring it full circle around to silver, what do we know? We know that silver is also an industrial metal. Silver, again, in general, that will go down if we go into a recession, even if you have the offsetting of fear and panic. Now, last week, we also talked about oil or natural gas. I told you guys to prepare for a bounce on natural gas, guys, and take a look. We've already seen a nice move up here off of the lows. Nice little pop a couple days ago, a small move yesterday. Today, we're pulling back, but watch this level really closely. Look at this key level. So on this natural gas chart on TradingView, what I want you to watch is the $2.25 level. If we hold 225 on a closing basis, that remains very bullish for natural gas. If it were to get back below that, then you're more in a gray area. A gray area is essentially the midpoint of bullish and bearish, which is neutral. You want to see, does it have to trade back down to the lows, which would then become support, or can it recapture this trend line and start to break to the upside there?
Soloway believes that the upcoming Shanghai fork could be creating stress, as forks often make people nervous that something could go wrong, causing them to step back. He says the impact of U.S. inflation data on the dollar market is the reason behind the recent rally. Soloway also notes that the dollar initially dropped when the inflation data was released, but is now rallying because the CPI data actually went up when core items like food and energy are stripped out of the calculation. On the other hand, Soloway doubles down that if Bitcoin manages to sustain a position above 30,500, then we could be looking at 15,700 for the next significant support level. He suggests that traders should be cautious right now and wait for pullbacks before making any investment decisions. What do you think about the latest interview with Gareth Soloway, and where do you see the price of Bitcoin reaching before the end of the month? Comment down below. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. This is the Library of Wealth. We'll see you in the next video.